Mike Huckabee was on Fox and Friends this morning, and Huckabee on Fox News saying this about Congress. Let's listen.
If you notice Congress approval ratings just barely above a pedophile.
Exactly.
I mean, it's terrible. It's dismal. Absolutely, I guess, historic in terms of how low it is. So it's a smart move on the president's part to say, I'm going to run against Congress, because he doesn't have on his own record to run on.
All right, we get the point. We don't need Congress is basically not about as popular as a pedophile.
I'm going to have to put that into my polling to see the real answer on that.
Mm-hmm.
The baseline
not popular,
question.
Though. He's right, not popular.
He's right on that, and there are a number of reasons for it. First, the washover from the Pelosi period of time. We haven't recovered from that. We still have ObamaCare and the things that were imposed on us. We have not led in a clear way. American people don't know what House Republicans believe in, and they surely don't know what we're willing to fight for. And I'm as disappointed as the public is. I've been trying to generate a fight in this Congress all year. I wanted to draw that line and shut off all funding to Obamacare. We would have won that fight with the American people.
Yeah, what happened? Who in the Republican caucus was a problem on that? Was it? I mean, people emailing me constantly. I just had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. Eric Cantor, he seems like a good guy, and he's fighting for America. But is Eric Cantor the problem? That's what I'm hearing.
I will just say straight out that it's clear to me that Speaker Boehner made a decision either before, but I'm convinced it's at least shortly after the election last November, a year ago last November, that we would not be in a position where we could be blamed for shutting down the government. Whether the president does it, or that Harry Reid does it, or whether we do it, he wasn't going to let that happen. So that's the only place you bring the leverage to this Congress to take on Harry Reid and Barack Obama is you have to be willing to face a shutdown, and you have to have the debate among the American people. And in the end,
you think that would have helped the Republican Party, and you guys would be in a better position today if the government had been shut down? I mean, it's an interesting question.
The shutdown isn't the point so much as I don't want the shutdown either. But if you're afraid of the shutdown, you can't have the confrontation, and you lose every negotiation along the way.
You've already taken the weapon off the table.
That's
what
right.
You're saying. So Cantor or Boehner, which one is more responsible for setting the tone of?
I think it's clearly Boehner because he's the one that began to convince the 87 freshmen you shall have to vote for a debt ceiling increase. That started in the first week of their election too, and we're not going to have a government shutdown. All of those things along the way.
But Congressman, I mean, Boehner's right? I mean, the idea that the government. The idea that we weren't going to raise the debt ceiling, I mean, do you really think that was going to happen? I disagree with you. I mean, to me, it was going to be raised. The question is, what were you going to get for it, right?
Yes, and what we got for it was a lowering of the projected debt or our national debt from $28 trillion down to $26 trillion 10 years from now.
I agree with you.
We didn't get anything for it, and now the president gets $1.2 trillion more dollars, and we have to override a veto in order to stop that. Right. We get nothing for that.
Right.
Either.
I just think that the way we frame that needed to be a little bit clearer. But hey, it's great to have you in the studio, and great to see you in person.
Great to have you in Iowa.
You're one of the originals in Congress. All right, Steve King, one of our favorites here on the Laura Ingraham Show in Iowa.